you can choose based off of your lifestyle as it is today and still upgrade as your lifestyle upgrades to the center console that fits your lifestyle in the future.
We're approaching hurricane season. There are some things in this article that will help you prepare, some tips, some ideas.
Welcome to another episode of the Southern Boating Podcast. I'm Ian Sneed.
I'm James Anderson.
And today we're going to be covering two, I think, great topics. The first one, hurricane holes, because we know that the season is upon us. And secondly, we're going to touch on our center consoles guide. Now, we're only going to talk about 4, but we have 35, right?
There are 35 center consoles in
35
this issue.
center consoles that we cover in this issue. And this is from our May issue. So you can access that online at Southern Boating /web reader. I'll put a link in the description. And actually, I'm going to put this online, this article online.
In the coming weeks.
Yeah. So check the description to see the full 35 center consoles. Now, I think I should also put the hurricane holes online.
Yes, being that we're approaching hurricane season here actually next week.
Yeah.
Hurricane information is most needed.
It's probably it starts the day that this video goes live, I think.
Yeah, it does actually.
Yeah.
So it'll be hurricane season starting June 1st, which is Saturday
when
this will be released. That is correct.
So we'll have that up online for you guys.
Now you just
and
gave
I just added
that we pre-record.
I just added. Well, if everyone knows we pre-record, but I just added more work to my plate, guys. So I hope you enjoy the content.
You're very good at that.
Yes, I am. So let's jump into it.
Let's talk about hurricane holes. So, number one, June 1st starts hurricane season, right?
Yeah.
Everybody knows that the best way to deal with a hurricane is to be prepared, right? We know they're coming. You get a couple of days of warning to know that you're going to have a either direct hit or very close hit. Either which one you need to be prepared for. And it's best to be prepared because you never know. I mean, we've had hurricanes deviate from their path and all of a sudden hit an area that may not be as prepared. So it's always important to be prepared. So there are some things in this article that will help you prepare, some tips, some ideas. One of them being finding a good area, and the number one thing for finding a good area is one that's, got good protection from the wind from all angles. Because what a lot of people don't know, I mean, us boaters know it very, very well, but for the average person is that when a hurricane approaches, the wind's going one way, and when it's leaving, it's going another way. It does a 180-degree turn on you. So you need to be aware of that. Then also, different types of bottoms of where you might be, trying to anchor your boat is important because anchors might not always hold in certain situations.
Yeah, if it's sand or if it's soft mud or something.
Right.
Yeah, it's very easy.
It's very easy to pull an anchor at that point in time. Also, do you want a narrow waterway so you can tie your boat to both sides of the waterway, right?
Or a tight canal. Right?
Tight canal, exactly right.
Because I feel like what the article touches on, 3 things that we need to protect from are, and I have my notes to double check, but wind, storm surge, and waves, right?
Yes.
And so, with the wind element, it talks about fetch. You want to find a space that minimizes fetch, which if I'm assuming the people know what fetch is, but if you're unaware of what fetch is, it's the amount of distance that the wind can travel without being unobstructed. So the larger the fetch, then the faster the wind when it hits your boat. Correct. So you want to find a place that minimizes fetch, which means that there are physical objects obstructing the wind at some point before it hits your vessel, right? Correct. And it's really important because if you think about all the things that might not be strapped down, how many, missiles start launching at your vessel, right?
Yeah, it's not the wind, it's what the wind is blowing.
Exactly. And so that's why you want to minimize fetch, to minimize wind speed, to minimize the risk of something flying through the air and hitting your vessel.
Right.
Which I thought was a great reminder to have in the content.
Right. And storm surge is the other one, right? Storm surge is very hard to deal with. But the further inland you go, the further upstream in a canal that you go, the less storm surge you're going to have.
Right.
So, which is very good. But also understanding that some areas, there's the opposite effect of storm surge too.
Mm-hmm.
So you can have some areas get drained while the other areas are getting storm surge.
Right.
Because the water's got to come from somewhere, right?
Right.
It's not just magically there.
So as we're talking about the things to consider when you're looking for hurricane holes, like the article, we have a whole list from South Florida all the way up to the Chesapeake Bay, right?
Correct.
Of hurricane holes that you can, get yourself to if you see that the weather is turning foul.
Exactly. Yeah. So there's a whole list. There's a couple of ideas that you need to, read up on, because it's not just finding a canal. It could be finding the right marina. It could be finding a place to haul out.
Right.
There's some insurance plans we talk about actually require a haul out plan.
And then marinas oftentimes will offer a haul out plan. But then, it's, if you're paying for it, then you're bumped to the front of the line. But if you're not, well, then, you better hope that there's plenty of space.
And then if you're at a marina and you choose to use a marina, what to look for in a marina, the right type of floating docks, tall pilings.
Yeah. Because
you're going to have to deal with storm surge at that point. Because chances are you're further
closer to.
You're closer. Exactly right.
Where the water's coming in. And then not just that, but if you're, tying up somewhere, you have to consider all the vessels around you and what their swing radius is, and also whether that captain knows how to anchor down their vessel well enough. Because let's say their swing radius is large, but the captain knows how to anchor his vessel down well, you don't really have to worry about it hitting you. But if you're noticing that the captain is not anchoring it down properly, all right, well, now you have a little more risk. So what do we do as boaters is we help each other out. We might as well help them.
I was just going to say, this is when it is imperative to be friendly and help each other out.
Absolutely.
So if you see somebody that may not be as experienced as yourself, please go help them.
Yeah,
they will be very gracious of you helping them.
And at the same time, everybody
as
wins.
You teach them, they along the way will maybe teach somebody else and enrich our community.
Exactly. Now, I didn't count how many hurricane holes we have in there. Can you see?
Yeah. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There's 10 listed in here.
So we have at least 10 places that you can reference right away in our May issue 2024 of hurricane holes from South Florida up to the Chesapeake Bay. Please read this content because it will help you if you find yourself in a bad situation.
Not even it'll help you. Most important, be prepared.
Right.
That's the most important part. Be prepared. Have a plan in place. Have some ideas, and that's where it really starts. So being prepared helps. So reading the article is going to help you prepare, help you come up with some ideas, and then scout those ideas. And then, we don't want to put them into action.
Right.
But if you have to, at least you're ready to.
You're ready to go, yeah. So remember to subscribe to the channel as we transition to our next topic. Yeah, so we're on the same page. Pun intended.
So as I turn the page, let's talk about the center console. So every year, and we made some changes this year.
Yeah.
So every year, it used to be in July, we did the center console buyer's guide.
Right.
And it's a whole issue dedicated towards center consoles. This year, we've moved it to May because we got a brand new issue coming out in July that we're working on wrapping up right now.
Yeah.
And center consoles is the most popular style of boat currently right now.
It's extremely versatile.
I was just going to say, it is because it is the most versatile, from whether you are using the boat with your family to going out day fishing to whatever you may be doing.
Yeah, to entertaining sandbars. But not just that, because of the range and sizes, since center consoles have been getting bigger, but you still have, the more trailable sizes. There's so many options within the center console, range or category that you can choose based off of your lifestyle as it is today and still upgrade as your lifestyle upgrades to the center console that fits your lifestyle in the future.
That's exactly right.
It's great. It's
it really
very useful.
I mean, you can go from very basic to very luxurious, unbelievably luxurious.
Yes.
So, and a lot of this has to do with what we've seen with the center consoles and why they get so big now is the fact that we have these super high performance outboards, all the way up to Mercury's, V12 600s.
Yeah.
So that allows us to power a much bigger boat.
Yep.
So let's talk. I'm going to start with formula and the new 457. So this is a very intriguing boat. You actually got on this boat when we were in Miami at the Miami Boat Show.
I loved this boat. No, I got on this boat on a sea trial with Steve.
Okay, so you did. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, I forgot about that.
I love this boat.
It's a very neat boat. So first off, I've always liked Formula. It's probably the Indiana Hoosier type of thing since they're made in Indiana.
Right.
But I've always liked the lines of them. I like how they incorporate a lot of different aspects of the boat. It's very always made to be a user-friendly boat for entertaining. But now when they stepped into the center consoles with the 387, now they have the 457. It is more geared at sport activities, fishing. So they're transitioned a little bit to, open up the audience for them.
Yeah.
And they've done a stupendous job. There's a lot of amenities on this boat, great lines on it.
The styling, really both whether you're on the dock or on the vessel, is phenomenal. They've gone, above and beyond, without a doubt. You can see it from every angle. They really put an effort into the style of this boat.
And the one thing I love is you can tell it's a Formula.
Exactly.
You can spot it from across the bay or, seeing it far, far away up the intercoastal or out in the ocean. You can be, that's a Formula.
And that's, I think, one of the cool things about center consoles is you can put a stamp on your design styling. Whereas there's some style of boats where you expect to see a very distinct style. With center consoles, there's a lot of individuality within the brands, so it can speak to a different owner of the vessel. And yeah, Formula definitely has a very distinct view. Like when you look at it, I want to say facade,
design
but I don't know.
aspects
Yeah, the
to it.
design aspects is very unique, very special.
Absolutely.
And I loved the cockpit space, like the cabin space, the helm on this vessel. There was plenty of space. Everything was in reach, but it felt like
it's got triple
it had
MFDs, I believe.
triple MFDs, yeah. It had 2 rows of seating. Everything was comfortable. I remember sitting down. When I was in the second row, I sat down and I was just as comfortable there as it was quite literally in the captain's chair. Like it was without a doubt meant for the people to enjoy the space that they purchased with the vessel, including the cabin space, because the amount of headroom was incredible.
Right, and it's actually got not a head shower combination, but it's got a head and a
shower.
Independent stand-up shower.
Yeah.
Too.
It has space to create a berth. So as U-shaped seating, but you can add cushions to create a little berth. So if you want to overnight in it, you can. It's just incredible across the board.
Nice.
Yeah.
So it could be a good Bahamas boat.
Oh, absolutely.
So the other one that I wanted to talk about is the new Jupiter, right? So Jupiter came out with 2 new models this year, the 340 LS and the 380 LS.
That's right.
Right, and they've made some design changes to these boats, just with making them more like a fisherman's boat, I believe is what it was. And just in general, I like the shape of a Jupiter. I like the bow of the Jupiter. We know the people at Jupiter very well. They build an awesome boat.
Yeah.
They got a lot of options on them.
Yeah. This is the one that we saw at Palm Beach, right?
Yes, we saw this boat in Palm Beach.
So it has the window was 3 enclosed glass.
Yep.
Right? So 3 panes of enclosed glass. It had the sunroof.
Yes, it does have a sunroof as well.
It had windshield.
Yep.
It had rod racks.
Yes.
Like up kind of in the hole, right? It had
Correct.
rod racks. Yeah, and I remember thinking like, wow, they went out of their way to make the most out of this space for a multifunctional unit. Like it, quite literally, you could take it and party. You could take it out, to go to dinner, or you can quite literally go fishing, and be the happiest fisherman on the sea, like 100%.
Definitely, and it's got a couple of power options as well. You can get it with either triple Yamaha 300s or the twin Yamaha 450s.
Yeah.
So I like those types of options, right? That's important to me always.
Yeah, I really like that.
So moving on, the next one is another boat that we saw at Palm Beach as well. And this is a brand new boat. And it's from Bertram.
Right.
And it's the 39cc. Now, we saw this with a special wrap on it.
We did, yeah.
The collaboration that they're doing.
Well, they had 2. They had 2
correct.
models. They had the special collaboration with Maui Jim.
Which is the first one we saw.
Right.
It
The
really
first
caught
one.
your eye.
And it was a stunning wrap. they're using that for a tournament, right? Or for tournaments.
Right.
Yeah.
And that boat's on tour basically within the tournaments.
Oh, it was incredible. I loved it.
It was breathtaking.
Yes.
And the wrap was really kind of unique because it's not shiny. It really had like a matte finish. So you never really got glare off of it, which I liked. So you could always see the image. I thought it was very sharp to do it with a matte finish instead of something glossy.
Glossy, yes, I agree. Because it's visible the whole time. But then, so these models, the 39cc, right?
Right.
They're I think designed for the passionate angler. Like,
very much so.
It's 100%. They went into the lifestyle because they use it for tournament competitions.
Correct.
So it had to be designed for a passionate angler.
And Bertram has a legacy filled with that.
Yeah.
And, they've always made a great boat, always will continue to make a great boat. They've done really well with this 39cc, lots of space, wide beam on it, great performance. It's really a breathtaking new boat from them.
And this is the one where the second model had the optional summer kitchen, right?
Correct.
Yes.
So now you definitely remember.
Yeah,
so I was just going to bring that up.
Yeah, I love it.
It was very interesting. It was a nice aspect. So you can customize this boat and really make it yours with the different features that you can order up on it. And to me, if you're looking at something that's a, 35 to 40 foot center console, this is definitely one to keep your eye on.
Oh, absolutely.
Because it is, to me, just great design, unbelievable design. You could make it a hardcore fishing boat, or you could make it something that's a very family friendly sandbar style boat.
Yeah.
So like all center consoles,
and
extremely versatile.
Extremely versatile. Yep.
So,
and then finally,
let's talk about Wellcraft.
Yeah.
So I wanted to bring in one that's more along the lines of smaller, more entry level, because we've just talked about three boats that are not really entry-level boats.
Right.
And I'm not going to say that Wellcraft's really an entry-level boat because there's much smaller boats than what they're offering in their new lineup.
Yeah.
So they released last year what they call the 3 Series. And it's got 3 different models in it. The 223 Fisherman, the 243 Fisherman, and the 263. So obviously all respectively 22 feet, 24 feet, and 26 feet.
Right.
Right? Easy trailerable boat sizes.
Yeah.
Right? They come with a plethora of different options from, fish lockers to everything that you can think of. So you, again, when you're picking out one of these and coming up with different features that you want, you can really kind of customize this boat. And my favorite, like a lot of these, the formula is made here in America, but Wellcraft, made here in America, Cadillac, Michigan, always been there, so it's a great boat to start with. And the brand is a really good, well-managed brand.
Yes.
So,
it's a very strong brand.
Yeah, absolutely. And like I said, you can get, if you're looking to get into a center console, but you don't want an 18-foot or a 19-foot and you want to step up a little bit more than that because let's say you got a family of 4 or a family of 5, 6, that you want to take out, 18-foot boat's not going to work for you. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
You need more space. So maybe the 26 foot is yours or the 24 feet offers you a little more space, storage.
And I like the fact that Wellcraft gives you the options for power of either Mercury or Yamaha.
Right.
Right. Which, some people have their preference. So you actually get to choose of, what your preference is. And both are incredible outboards.
Yeah.
So
both are great power plants, but you may have a preference. Or it may be that, the Mercury dealer and service center is closer to me and Yamaha's further away or vice versa.
Yeah, exactly. So you could take that into account.
Absolutely, because you need to take care of your boat. And then your boat will take care of you.
I like that they went out of their way to, because, when you're looking at like a 25, 26 foot boat, what you're looking at is, okay, well, how much storage am I going to have? And they went out of the way to make sure that you have storage, right?
Space.
They
That's
have storage space. For coolers, for the bait well. Right. They have storage space planned into the vessel.
Exactly.
Specifically so that an angler can go out and do whatever he chooses to do.
Right. Yeah. And not only that, you can get ahead in these too. So, which is important. If you're traveling with women, girls, whatever it may be, they're not like us men.
Because it has a portable head, or you can upgrade for the porcelain toilet, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
So, and that's pretty important.
It is.
So
It is if you're out on the water all day.
If you're out on the water all day and you have your wife or your little girls with you, it's even more important.
Absolutely.
Let's face it.
Yep.
So, so we talked about 4 great boats, but I highly encourage you guys to check out this May issue, look at it online, or reach out to us and subscribe for print. And we were happy to send a print to you. There's 35 different models in here. I can't talk about all of them. I wish I could. Otherwise, we would have like a 2-hour-long podcast, and that's not going to happen. You'd get bored watching it.
Yeah. And then I'd have to edit that, guys, and that's not. I don't want to.
First off, there's too many projects Ian's got going on. He can't edit a 2-hour video. But no, check the issue out. Lots of boats. If you're in the market for a center console, these are must read throughs. Whether you're looking for a very large, luxurious center console, you're looking for the entry level, there's lots of different options in here. So please check it out. Feel free to reach out to us with questions. We can put you in touch with one of the manufacturers or a dealer from one of the manufacturers.
Absolutely.
I'm more than happy to answer questions for you. So if you have questions, put them in the comment section, and we'll reach back out to you.
Yeah.
So I'm James Anderson.
And I'm Ian Sneed.
We look forward to seeing you in the next episode. Short and stout, here is my handle, here is my spout. When I get all steamed up, hear me shout, tip me over and pour me out. Just wait till you have a kid one day, okay?
I'm not judging you for it, but I am surprised that you know the whole thing.
How do I not? I sing it like 5 times a day.
Well, I didn't know that.
Elmo song. What's the other ones? Oh, the Itsy Bitsy Spider.
That one? Yeah. Okay.
The Wheels on the School Bus.
Oh, okay, that one's fun. Yeah, that one's fun.
Well, my kid has an obsession with the Wheels on the School Bus. So we have this little bus that he rides. And it's got buttons on the side, right? And it does the alphabet on one side. He's got an extra button that does music and numbers on the other side, right? He's learned that if he keeps pushing that one button, it'll cycle to Wheels on the School Bus. So he'll sit there and push the button until it cycles to the song. And then he goes, he claps, gets all excited, and he dances.
Dude, that's awesome.
And then it turns off, and he starts pushing the button again until it all cycles all the way through. Like he'll skip. It's like hitting the skip on the song.
Dude, that's
on your radio.
Awesome.
Right? It's
that's
funny.
Smart.
It's hilarious. Yeah. It is. It blows me away. I didn't realize he was doing it until like last week. I was like, he's hitting the button, so he doesn't like the other songs.
Yeah. Or he really likes Wheels on the School Bus.
He really likes Wheels on the School Bus. Go round and round, round and round.
All right. You ready?
No. I'd rather sing Wheels on the School Bus.
Cool. We've already been recording 2 minutes on this.
All right, let's get her on.
All right.